a step back before I get all up in your
Remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics. It's me. It's Mr. FSP, along with my co-host, J to the T. He got a scraggly little beard, looking like Grady right now with them glasses on.
I feel like Grady, man.
For those of you that don't know who Grady is, look at Sanford and Son.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
even George had Sanford had one of these, man. He had a scraggly old beard too. Red Fox.
He did.
Oh,
Pops, Red Fox.
Yeah.
Fred G. Sanford. That's who you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, ladies and gentlemen, it's upon us. All the hype is done. Week 1 has begun. That's what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Most notably, let's discuss what happened a couple days ago. Are the Kansas City Chiefs doomed without Travis Kelce? We've all said Tyreek Hill was going to be the downfall. But you still had Travis Kelce catch the ball. Their leading receiver last year. Game 1, Kansas City versus Detroit. Travis isn't there. And boop, 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 boop.
It was a travesty.
And travesty. And Detroit wins by 1. Kansas City's offense was held to 20 points. Now, the plays were there. Let's be honest. The plays were there. Kadarius Toney.
Keyword.
Were.
They were there.
Yeah. Kadarius Toney, is he going to play his way out the NFL? That rookie Rice looked like he was better than him. Now, here's something I didn't understand either, JT. We're going to talk about Detroit in a second.
Okay.
Why start Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Pacheco to begin the game? Now, I get it. Clyde did pretty well in his minimum snaps. Unless Pacheco had a disciplinary thing, I think you start him to get the bang for your buck. Clyde did well, but I think Pacheco could have been used a lot better in the backfield. They threw the ball to him out there on screens and stuff, but talk to me about the Kansas City Chiefs before we go to Detroit.
There was one of 2 backs that weren't used enough in this game, and Isaiah Pacheco was one of them. Okay, one of 2 backs that one more dynamic than the other, but the other in Kansas City, the dynamic back, but he wasn't used early and often. That's the problem. He wasn't used early and often. You got to have some imagination in the offense, and there was not enough imagination with Isaiah Pacheco included for Kansas City to come out with that win. Because that was the other passing option. Obviously, you saw the rookie Rashid Rice. Okay, he was all right, but Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore, we're still looking for him to catch the ball. They're still looking for him to catch the ball. I mean, you put the ball in somebody's hand, pops out, and it goes for a pick six. Huh? He tried, and this was pointed out even in, and this is basic stuff. It was pointed out even in every combine that includes his pass catchers. You don't try to catch the ball with your body. You try to catch it with your hands. And if you look what the Kadarius Toney in that interception, he tried to catch it with his body. And he was turned sideways trying to catch it with his body. You can't do that. You got to catch it with your hands. And the fatal flaw, it went into a defender's hand for a pick six. Come on, man. That's basic stuff for a wide receiver. And obviously, he didn't learn the basics.
Well, I'll say this. Sky Moore is listed as their number one, but he got the ball thrown to him like he was the number 3. Watson got more targets than he did. But at the same time, Kadarius Toney is their jack of all trades.
Master of none.
At least on Thursday night, he was a master of none. None whatsoever. But I will tell you from viewing the games Kansas City has a problem. They needed Chris Jones. They needed him.
Oh, yeah. Worst way. Definitely.
There wasn't that much pressure against Goff. Number 50 or 52, whatever his number is, that D tackle, undersized guy, but, made problems for Goff. You put Chris Jones right there beside him, and we're talking about a different pressure look and I think a different outcome. You mentioned 2 backs. Now I know you have a bias in saying that.
No, I don't have a bias. No. And let me put it this way. I didn't expect what I expect.
David Montgomery to perform and have all the time and yardage and touchdown that he got, right?
Well, yes. And the fact is this. He got 21 carries, 74 yards, less than 4 yards a carry. Okay.
But he got a touchdown. Okay. That easily could have been Gibbs' touchdown. It depends on who's in at the time. Easily could have been him. Yep.
7 carries, 42 yards, 6 yards per carry. More dynamic back. You could see it, but they didn't give him enough chances, which is fine. I didn't expect him to have a lot of carries. I expected him to be a dynamic player, which, in fact, he was. Which, in fact, he's bigger than I thought he was. He is bigger than I thought he was. That means he's, in my opinion, if he still had that speed, he's going to be a more durable back. Eventually, I see in the future that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get more work. 7 carries was just a transition from a rookie going into his first game.
I think with his power and agility, because there were several times I thought he was going down and he didn't. He's going to be a very productive player. With that, though, I think they don't want to hand him the ball that much. The reason why I say that is because they need someone else that's going to catch that rock or make plays. Right now, let's look at it. We got Marvin Jones. Not that big of an impact. He had a decent game.
He's slow.
I got it. Amon-Ra St. Brown did his thing. I didn't think he was going to be the focal point, but he was. But Sam Laporta, 5 catches, 43 yards, all 5 targets caught. He's the guy that they're going to depend on, right? But they need somebody on the opposite side of Amon-Ra to catch the ball more effectively. Josh Reynolds, he's there. He caught a couple big balls.
Slow.
I get it. I got it. Slow. But I'm talking about they need somebody more dependable. And that's what Gibbs is. And I think until Jameson comes back, Jameson Williams, you might see Gibbs less and less in the backfield and Montgomery more and more. And a lot of people, to include myself, bypass Montgomery. when I was in my draft rooms.
Not me.
And I was looking for my third or fourth running back.
Not me.
Not me.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk about your team in a minute.
It's okay.
Well, let's stick.
It's okay.
Let's stick to the schedule.
Look, it's not how you start; it's how you finish,
and how you trade away Jamar Chase. I could. Never mind.
Yep. No.
We're gonna talk about that.
I know about no.
We're gonna talk about that later.
I know about you. Look. I said everyone was on the table. You never, and you could have, but you never made an offer. Hello.
I didn't. Did I complain about the trade?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
No, I just did not. I did not complain. First of all,
because you didn't give me a chance. That's what you told me.
I did not complain about the trade in the league. And secondly, I didn't complain about it now. I said we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it.
Complain because you didn't give me a chance. I didn't know Jamar was on the table.
I didn't say you didn't give me a chance.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Okay.
I said I didn't know he was on the table. That doesn't say you didn't give me a chance. But we're gonna talk about who you traded for in a minute. But let's get through the schedule. Let's get to the schedule.
No problem.
Because I'm boy.
No problem. Because
okay, never mind. Let me get back.
Yep.
So
yep.
So we're back at it. Detroit beats Kansas City.
Yep.
The Lions fans are out.
Yep.
I put out a little flyer that says MVP of the game for Detroit, Kadarius Toney. And
yeah. And look, another one of those, and he's out of there. I gotta believe that. He has no wiggle room anymore.
I don't think so, because he stays hurt.
Yeah.
And his hands, that was his first preseason and game action of the year.
No excuse, man. He's a professional.
I know, I got it. And that's what I'm saying. There's no excuse. Because they had big plans for him.
Yeah. Big
plans for him.
Yeah.
And they were executing those plans. He just didn't close out the deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt Nagy called a good game. Not going to lie. He called a good game. Can't blame Eric Bieniemy for the loss. But Matt Nagy called a good game. It was the execution of the game plan. Plain and simple. Detroit knocks off the defending Super Bowl champions on their banner raising day. Let's move on to the rest of the games and start off week 1 at the 1:00 game. Listen, I'll give you the Panthers. I'll take Atlanta. Right? We're going to talk about each team, and then we're going to give our predictions. Okay? That's what we're going to do the rest of. That's what we're going to do for this year.
Okay.
You get a team, I get a team. We talk about them, and then we give our predictions on the game after both of us have talked about each team. Okay? You ready?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'll start with Atlanta. I told you guys during the summer, Green Bay all the way. Oh my God. Keith, we won't get to your Packers because Jerry likes Jordan Love now. I don't know why, but he does. We'll get to them when their game comes up. But Atlanta, I told you during the summer, I believe they're going to win the NFC South. I love their defense. Their defense is going to do very, very well this year. I guarantee that. Because they play in such a poor division. They got to play 6 games in a division where the offenses outside of New Orleans are terrible. They start off week 1 versus a rookie quarterback. As Jerry would like to say, a short, diminutive quarterback. I'm not going to talk about the players right now, although Adam Thielen is questionable, should play. But I'll let Jerry get to that part when he breaks down Carolina. But I'm looking at Drake London. I'm looking at Kyle Pitts. And here's something I picked up yesterday. and it makes a lot of sense. Who was a tight ends coach or coach in Tennessee when Geno was there?
Don't know.
Who's the current head coach of the Atlanta Falcons?
Oh, Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator, right?
Sure.
Guess where Geno is right now? Atlanta. So I look for him to be more of an inline blocker that can release and catch the ball, whereas they line up Kyle Pitts in the slot. Kyle Pitts is not that great of a blocker, but Kyle Pitts is an athlete that is humongous with speed. I believe he's 6'4", 6'5". Drake London 6'6". Cordero Patterson's back. They're going to play him a little bit at receiver too. I like the fact that Bijan Robinson has been named number 1. Tyler Algier is no slouch at number 2. Desmond Ridder, all he has to do, and Desmond Ridder is what, 6'5". You have a basketball team with some good small little point guards in Algier and Robinson. With that defense, all Desmond Ridder has to do, turn around, hand the ball off, fake handing the ball, just throw up a 50-50 ball. Kyle Pitts, Drake London. And if you want to get fancy, Geno. I'm telling you, Atlanta is primed. Primed is going to run. They have an easy schedule. Go ahead, JT. Talk about Carolina.
All right.
Remember, don't give your prediction. We'll get predictions after you finish.
All right. I got to believe change along the offensive scheme has changed. Got a new head coach, got a new offensive coordinator from the Rams, and nearly every skill player has changed. This is a young team, and it's going to rebuild this year, but have a so-so offensive line. And you got a rookie on the team in transition where he's never failed at any level. But there's plenty of expectations. But you got Miles Sanders. I'm not a big Miles Sanders fan. I really am not. You got a so-so offensive line with a rookie quarterback, new head coach, new offensive coordinator. A lot of changes in this Carolina team offensively. I can't feel them scoring a lot of points. And a 5'10", 204-pound quarterback. Okay? I can't see him score a lot of points in this game.
All right. So, with you saying that, you pretty much gave up who you're going to pick.
Not necessarily. I mean, you know, the defense on Carolina is really not that bad. I mean, they're not the top flight, but they're not that bad. Their weakness is against the pass. Their DBs aren't that good. Okay.
Okay.
But, and we'll get to who we think is going to win this game.
Well, that's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm picking Atlanta to run the ball down their throat, chew up clock, get in the end zone. I see Bijan. Listen, I know Kyle Pitts was a disappointment last year, but there really weren't that many opportunities for him. The addition of Bijan Robinson, to me, tells me that you can put him in the slot, just like Jamar Gibbs. We just talked about, dynamic Jamar Gibbs, right? Well, Bijan Robinson's dynamic too. So here's what I can see happening. You've got Pitts and Gibbs on one side, London and whoever Cordell Patterson on the other side, Tyler Algier in the back with Desmond Ridder. I see a lot of spread, draws, sprints, screens, and a lot of jump balls. I've got Atlanta winning this game by at least 7.
I'm not even going to dispute that because I think it may be more than 7, in my opinion. But I have Atlanta win this game. Plus the fact that, and I didn't put this out there. Plus the fact it's a rookie starting his first game on the road against a division rival.
That's true. In Atlanta, they can get loud. They can get loud.
Oh yeah,
All right,
us people can get loud.
us people. Oh my God. So I'm gonna make this easy for you, JT. You have all the visitors. I've got all the home. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right. So next game we're going to talk about is Ravens. Oh, look at here. Your Texans.
My Texans. Okay.
Hey, dude, you got to watch what you're saying. Well, no, you don't. We ain't on LinkedIn. But continue to monitor your verbiage, please.
Wait a minute. I said okay. I didn't say
Oh,
anything.
I thought you said F you, my Texans.
No. I said my Texans. Okay. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. All right. It sounds
If you want me to say that, I
No, I
can.
don't. No, I don't. No. Ravens and Texans. Listen, ODB is already listed as questionable. Are you kidding me?
No,
When we get to the Giants, I got another. Are you kidding me there too? But
yep.
ODB,
That's why I traded him
Odell
away.
Beckham Jr.
That's right.
is listed as questionable.
That's why I traded him away.
Oh yeah, see, look at you trying to tout the fact that you were a snake, but we ain't got to that game yet. Let's finish with this one. Yeah, look at you, evil man. But it's okay.
You got to pay attention. That's all I got to say. You got to pay attention.
You do, but I'm gonna make you pay attention. Let's finish this game.
Okay.
Mark Andrews is also questionable, and he's been having some hamstring issues throughout the preseason. And there's some rumblings he's not happy with the fact that he hasn't been getting the ball in practice, which means Lamar's throwing the ball around, which is a good translation for those that picked up Lamar Jackson as their starting quarterback. He has a lot of weapons now on the offense side of the ball with ODB, a rookie in Flowers, Andrews. We'll see if and I'm going to tell you right now, I was touting this kid, Rashad Bateman, coming out of college. But this is a year that he needs to step up because he's made his headlines by X, formerly known as Twitter, not on the field. So he's going to have to step up as their number 3 wide receiver. It's interesting how a rookie comes in and automatically becomes the number 2. So this tells me Baltimore's going to a spread. It's not really a spread, but a spread style offense was just 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back. I really see that happen. They still kept their fullback, but I don't see Baltimore pounding the rock like they normally did. Dobbins, this is a contract year, right? So since this is a contract year and he's coming off of injury, he's got a lot to prove. He's going against Houston. And before Jerry even talks about him, I like the improvement on Houston's defense. I don't think they should have got Singletary before they got Sauce last year. But I'll let Jerry talk about Houston. I'm just pointing out the Ravens have offensive weaponry. Now here's a question. Will their defense step up? Will their defense step up? Because CJ Stroud is not going to just turn around and hand the ball off. I think they're going to let him throw it a little bit. But JT, go ahead and take on Houston Texans.
You know what? This is another scenario. A rookie quarterback in his first start.
On the road.
Okay? Mm-hmm. With limited weapons. I think the philosophy here for and I have no any kind of knowledge, but in my opinion, since this is a defensive-minded coach, I'm thinking that he's going to fix the defense first, and then in the next few years try to get better offensive weapons. So Houston, they're on the road. They were bad against the pass, and I can guarantee you that DeMeco Ryans knows that and going to make a more stout effort to his defense to be more stout on the defensive side against the run. And even though, no, I'm not going to say that. Okay. Even though,
Say it.
even though I think they're going to lose the game, I still think that the defense is going to be the stronger part of this team. Because if it's a defensive-minded coach, they're limited on their weapons. Tank Dell, come on, 160-something pound, 5'7", 5'8", maybe 5'9", wide receiver that's getting some hype. Got Nico Collins. Okay, he's a decent number 2.
Don Mechie, Mr. Mechie.
Mechie coming off a sickle cell season that he didn't play last year. So in essence, this is his rookie year.
Yep.
Oof. You got limited weapons, man. And people are loving Damian Pierce. I never like a running back on a losing team.
What about Robert Woods? He's their veteran. He's their veteran receiver. He's their number 2 or 3, I believe.
30 plus.
30 no, I got it. But do you think his veteran preference, his presence will help Stroud?
Well, let me put it this way. He can instill information to his young quarterback. He can instill information to their wide receivers. But if they don't have the ability, it ain't going to help. They can be as knowledgeable as they possibly be, but they don't have the ability. It's just like talking to a duck and thinking he's going to be a good wide receiver. He doesn't have the ability. He may know what he needs to do, but the ability is not there, and that's the problem. They are the best weapon. The best weapon, in my opinion, is Nico Collins. How much is he going to get fed by this rookie quarterback? With the knowledge from the Baltimore Ravens, knowing that this may be the number 1 receiver, we're going to shut him down. Let's see what the rookie can do. That's what I'm saying. We're going to shut Nico Collins down. Now what? Now what can you do, Texans? So that's my point. I think they're going to start off strong with the defense. They're going to try to maintain that defense and try to keep this close. But we're going to talk about.
Okay. With that being said, I honestly think that Roquan Smith might knock out C.J. Stroud in this game, and you might see Miller or
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills. Thank you, Davis Mills step in because I think Stroud is going to get so frustrated that he's going to take on. He's going to run the ball, and he's going to get clipped.
Well, let me ask you a question. What school in college did
Jesus
did C.J. Stroud come from? Huh?
I know what you're about to say about their quarterbacks. I'm
just saying. Okay.
Okay. All right.
History tells us that Ohio State quarterbacks don't fare well. Okay. I'm just saying. He may be an exception, but no.
All right. With that being said, matter of fact, what I want you to also do is look up the spreads because we can do this with spreads and without spreads. But right now,
9.5. 9.5.
You already had the spreads. That's my guy.
Over under 44. That's what I'm looking at right now. Now each site is different, but what I'm looking at right now is 9.5, and over under is 44.
Okay, so I'm going to say Baltimore is going to win regardless. Will they cover the 9.5? That's 10 points. They're at home. If they were in Texas, I would think Houston would cover that.
Yep.
But Baltimore, they're at the bank, man. They're at the bank. I got to say they're going to cover that 10.
I think they're going to cover it too. I like Baltimore big time in this. Houston is one of those teams that doesn't score a lot of points. Okay. That's one of these teams. And with all the factors going against them, rookie quarterback on the road for the first game and not strong weapons on the offense, I think it's going to be they're going to put their best foot forward, which is their defense, and hope for the best. I don't think they cover that 9.5. I don't think they're going to be close in this game. Don't think so. Double-digit win for Baltimore.
So I'm gonna call it audible. JT.
Okay.
Since we both love our teams, we're gonna, whether they're home or away, we're going to talk about our home teams.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm gonna take the away Bengals versus the home Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
And I believe Burrow is 1-2 versus Cleveland.
How about 1-4?
1-4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it's 1-4, 1-5. Let me put it
I don't think it's 1-5. I thought it was 1-2, but 1-4 sounds about right. I know I saw the statistics somewhere. With that being the case, you traded away Jamar Chase.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I got a little answer. But Joe Burrow just signed $275 million.
Okay, and hadn't played the whole preseason.
I get it.
Okay,
I get it.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you.
Hey, hold up.
I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you some stats about.
Okay, hold up. Don't worry about it. You got Cleveland. You got Cleveland. Okay?
No problem. Okay.
So this signals to me that either Joe Mixon is not going to be there next year or T. Higgins ain't going to be there next year. I'm thinking it's going to be Joe.
It may
T
be
might
both.
be gone too.
Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe both. But for this year, Chase, T, Tyler, Joe, and Joe. And an improved offensive line. This is pretty much Joe Burrow's preseason game. Last year, we saw how that worked out for Cincinnati when they went to that thriller of a loss to Pittsburgh. With that being the case, I'm not sure if there's going to be a lot of love in this game.
Oh, hell no.
State of Ohio has two solid football teams. But here's the difference. Is there a connection yet between Tillman, Watson, Cooper, Watson? Because last year wasn't that good. Towards the end of the season when he came in, there was between Cooper and who's the quarterback now in Washington? Brissett, your boy who you traded for, Nick Chubb. What will his role be? But Cleveland, that's your bag. You're going to talk about them. I'm saying Cincinnati's offense has to face that Cleveland defense that is, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be, but Mark Schwartz or Jim Schwartz knows how to dial up some pressure. He knows how to dial up some pressure. Myles Garrett's there. J.O.K. looked really good in the preseason. I think he had like 2 interceptions or interception and a fumble recovery. The cornerback who got paid all that money. Cincinnati better watch out. They better watch out. Their defense isn't as good as it was. They lost their safeties. One's in Atlanta, and one is in Carolina. Dangerous situation there. Dangerous. That's all I'm gonna say. Is dangerous. Go ahead and get your Cleveland Browns.
Okay. Let me just say this. Jamar Chase made a disparaging remark against my Cleveland Browns, calling them elves. Then he tried to correct himself real quick.
Is this why you traded him?
No. I traded him for the simple fact is this. I wanted a better player, in my opinion. Jamar Chase has had his worst games against Denzel Ward. A lot of people don't know that. I do. He's had his worst games against Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward and against Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has Denzel Ward has Joe Burrow's number. So with that being said, I said, you know what? I know he was my second pick in the first round. That's okay. That was in believe
it was your first pick in the first round.
I'm sorry, he was my first pick, the second pick, third pick in my
third pick, third overall.
But that was a mistake. I wanted someone else, and I screwed up, and my auto draft got the best of me and picked Jamar Chase, which is fine.
Wait, time out. Before I even go any further,
I'm not going to tell you who I was trying to get.
Why not?
I'm not. No, because it's a moot point. It's a moot point.
No, what? No. Listen,
it's a moot point.
Here, listen. It's not a moot point. I'm gonna let you talk about Cleveland but you're talking about Cincinnati right now. It's not a moot point because in your own final fantasy drafts, Jamar Chase was number 3. So if you weren't going to pick the player that you had at number 3, who were you going to pick? That's why it's not a moot point.
Wait, let me put it this way. That's for me to know and you to find out because I wasn't I wasn't going to pick Jamar Chase. I tell you that. He was not going to be my pick.
So Jerry, again, I'm asking the question.
No.
Why did no?
You're gonna get mad. Okay,
I'm not gonna get mad. All I'm trying to do is figure out why you had this man as your third overall pick.
He was the third overall pick, but look,
and you didn't want to get him at 3.
Let me put it this way. And I'm gonna put it in your terms. I'm gonna put it the way you do it.
Okay.
You've agreed to trades before with me. And then wait a minute. You've agreed to trades. Wait a minute. Just listen to me. You've agreed to trades before with me. And then come a day later. Oh, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. That's all I can tell you. I changed my mind.
Oh my God, this dude.
I changed my mind.
This dude.
Yep. Yes.
Giving out misinformation. Yes. But go ahead.
The fact is,
talk about Cleveland.
And the Cleveland Browns, they're being overrated. I mean, underrated. They're being underrated. I expect Deshaun Watson, who a lot of people are hating on and expecting the worst because of what they saw last 6 games, which is fine. I understand that. They got Amari Cooper. I understand that. Amari Cooper was one of the better. I think he was in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, top 12 wide receivers last year, even though he was maybe up and down, but he had Jacoby Brissett and a Deshaun Watson that was a shell of himself last season. Okay. Nick Chubb, they're going to get, because Nick Chubb is the bell cow, I do believe they're going to get Nick Chubb into the passing game, which is going to increase his fantasy value. Mm-hmm. Okay. I also believe David Njoku and Eli, and I'm going to reveal this right now because I have him on my roster. 4 to 8 equals 6. 4 is Deshaun Watson. 8 is Elijah Moore, and equals 6 is touchdowns. Okay. That's 4 to 8 equals 6. That's why you see that. Not what you thought, not what you were thinking. 4 to 8 equals 6. Anyway, I like my Cleveland Browns. This is the Cincinnati's favored by 2.5. This is a division rivalry, and Cleveland Browns play the Cincinnati Bengals very, 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 very well. Myles Garrett is a nightmare to Joe Burrow.
That is true.
He's a nightmare to Joe Burrow because no one is able to block him. Now you got who you got? Orlando Brown. I think he's the left tackle now.
Yes.
Supposedly that's supposed to shore up their offensive line, but their right tackle is weak, very weak. Their right tackle is very weak in Cincinnati. And Myles Garrett, you may see him over there a lot saying, I'm going to take advantage of this big boy. So they're gonna
Not
be
with Irv Smith chipping him, but go ahead.
well. Irv Smith is not really a big blocker, but whatever.
But he can chip.
He's mainly a pass catching tight end, but whatever. I
True.
like Irv Smith. I like Irv Smith, but
Well, I know.
It,
So with that being said, here's
Yeah.
my prediction.
ooh,
What's the spread?
2.5 favored. Cincinnati's favorite.
Okay. Well, I think they covered the spread. And well, I think Cleveland covers the spread, right? But Cincinnati wins the game.
Well, then
I
you
think it's going to be a 1-point game, 2-point game, something like that.
okay.
But I got Cleveland on the spread, but Cincinnati to win outright.
Okay. All right. I'm not going
And
to get mad at
you
that.
have
I have Cleveland. I'm not going to get past that. Past history tells me that Cleveland's going to give them fits and Cleveland's going to win this game.
you sure that wasn't a homer? But it's okay.
You know what? I'll be a homer. Damn right. You're effing right. I'll be a homer.
All right, next one up in the chute. We've got Jacksonville visiting the Colts. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
The Colts are an enigma right now. Big enigma. Speaking of people you traded, you picked up Pittman, and then you tried to do some unruly stuff, but I let it. I only made a warning. You did something else, and I had to go ahead and just bust you out. But you got Michael Pittman, Jr., who I don't think is going to be as valuable this year. And again, I've got the Colts. You got Jacksonville.
Okay.
I think Richardson.
Wait a minute. Wait. Who's starting the first game?
Can I finish what I'm talking about first?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Does your back hurt? Anyway. Anyway.
I do know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Well, they're trying to get a high draft pick to get a new left tackle or something like that. Anyway, I don't think Richardson is going to be that big of a threat in the passing game. Coupled with the fact that who's going to be their starting running back? Is it going to be Zach Moss? Is it going to be Deion Jackson? Or is it going to be Deion Jackson this week and Zach Moss until Taylor comes back? Because Taylor's at the facility. Taylor's getting treatment. Taylor is in the meetings. Taylor still wants to be traded, though. I don't know what's going to happen next for Taylor, but we only got 4 weeks.
My ankle still bothers me.
Before we find out.
Oh, my ankle still bothers me, and I don't know if I can go, Coach.
I put Taylor on IR. I drafted him for the sole purpose of putting him on IR. And I was going to grab Jackson in the draft, but I forgot you only get 4, so I had to get Jackson post-draft.
Thank you.
Yeah, because somebody forgot the rules. Anyway, I picked up Jackson because he's going to be the bell cow for them, I believe, at least this week. Besides that, Shaq Leonard is still in concussion protocol. I'm worried about that defense in Indianapolis. Again, they're playing in a weak division, but I'm worried about the Colts defense. Most assuredly, that offense. I'm not expecting Pittman Jr. to go over 800-900 yards. He might get 3 or 4 touchdowns, but I see Richardson running the ball a lot and using his big body until they get Jonathan Taylor back. And that does not bode well when you're going against the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, which is a monster of a defense. The leading tackler in the NFL is on Jacksonville. With that being said, JT, talk about the Jaguars.
First off, I said Anthony Richardson would start the first week of the season.
Jesus.
First off, I said Anthony Richardson would
start
the
we
first
heard you.
week.
You ain't got to say it again.
Okay.
We heard you.
I just you should have heard me when I was talking about it a few months ago. You should have heard me. And you said, nah, ain't no way. That's Gardner Minshew. Yeah, okay. You don't pick a quarterback fourth and leave him on the bench and let your backup play. That ain't going to happen, okay, Mr. GM, Mr. I was an offensive coordinator. Hello.
Anyway, we taking shots now?
Now we taking shots.
Okay. We're going to take some shots.
I'm going to tell you this.
We're going to take some shots.
This is a high-powered offense going against a weak offense. High-powered offense going against a weak offense. You got a quarterback that is inexperienced, but was taken high in the draft. That's why he's being pushed out there. He's playing at home. That's the only rookie quarterback, I think, that's playing at home in his home opener. Okay? But I don't expect this team. They weren't too good with veteran quarterbacks last season. How much better are they going to be with a rookie quarterback starting his first game against a very good defense and a good offense? How much better is he going to be? I mean, he could light the world up. I don't think that's going to happen, but this is a very good defense with an offense that can blow you out given a chance. That will blow you out given a chance. And it's a division rival. That much more incentive for this team to show the rookie welcome to the NFL and to show the team you can compete in this division with us.
Totally agree with that. And I think you're going here, but I'm picking, I don't know what the point spread is, but I think whatever it is, Jacksonville covers and they win.
Oh, you'll be surprised what the line is. Jacksonville by 5.
Well, they're giving them 3 because they're at home. They're giving the Colts 3 because they're at home. Okay. But I can see that.
Okay.
That's easy. That's easy money. As you just said, that offense is prolific, right?
And they added a piece. Calvin Ridley. They added a piece.
Yes, I recall Calvin Ridley. Yes.
And the fact is, let me just say this.
Jesus.
Let me just say this real quick. That's the reason why I got 2 second-round picks, because my second round pick
was going to be
Calvin Ridley. Absolutely.
You wanted him back in the fold. I got
absolutely. It. That's why,
dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was targeting him. See the difference? How I am. I'm open and honest about what I was going to do. Unlike my counterpart.
I'm open and honest.
No, you're not, because I asked you who you're going to get with the 3rd pick. Well, that's for me to know, for you to find out. You ain't open and honest. Yeah.
I'm open and honest when I was talking about Calvin Ridley. I figured if I keep
nothing else, just Calvin Ridley.
If I was to keep Chris Olave and then be able to get a second-round pick, because I knew he's going to be going in the 3rd. If I was able to get a second-round pick, I was going to have a very good duo at wide receiver, Chris Olave and Calvin Ridley, because the easiest schedule for both those wide receivers is what New Orleans and Jacksonville. They have the easiest schedule for wide receivers this year.
So as I said, I was going to reveal this. I was targeting Calvin Ridley as my number 1 receiver, but when Adams fell to me, I was like, oh, okay. And Cooper Kupp was there, and I was like, all right, he might have a little nick, but he'll be ready for the bulk of the season. I might lose him week 1, but I'll be okay. So I went Kupp and Adams. But my full intention was to go Adams and Ridley and then Josh. Look at Q. Q says, you 2 big snakes. Listen, JT's the biggest snake, and we agree on this, Q. We agree that JT is the biggest snake of them all.
Oh,
he's just like a disgusting, cold-blooded.
I got another one for you, but I'll wait till that game comes up. I'll wait till that game comes up.
But again, Who are you going to get at number 3 if you didn't auto pick? And it went too fast for you to say auto pick. That wasn't an auto pick. You picked Jamar Chase. That was not an auto pick.
I did not pick Jamar Chase. If it happened, it wasn't on purpose. Let me put it that way. It wasn't on purpose. I didn't want. There's no way I wanted more Jamar.
So who
Chase.
did you want?
I'm not. No.
Again, see how transparency goes. It's only one way. I'm transparent. JT never is.
Okay.
But it's okay.
You can put it that way if you like, but it is.
Let's
what
go
it
to
is.
the next game.
Yep.
You've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, look.
I've got the Minnesota Vikings.
You know what?
Let's do that.
That's one of the words I don't like, but I'm never a liar. And
I'm
gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna call him out. I'm not going to call him out. I refuse to call him out. But that's okay. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? That's all right.
Why do you think?
No.
Said you were stupid?
I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to call him out. He knows why. He knows what. He knows exactly why.
He's saying do it.
He knows exactly why. He tried to give me no. I'm not going to go that route. I've said I don't call people out. I'm not calling anybody out. Nope, that ain't happening.
Well, I do. But anyway,
yeah, I know.
You've got Tampa Bay. I've got your Kirk Cousins. Now, Minnesota has got I think they got a problem. If Minnesota thought that Alexander Mattison was the right guy to have, why did they sign another established running back at the end of the preseason to come in and spell him? Ty Chandler should be that good backup if Mattison is the guy. Not an already established running back that's been in the league for a couple of years that's a pass receiving running back. So that told me a lot. Secondly, no one's afraid of just Kirk Cousins. The blueprint on how to kind of shut down Justin Jefferson was done last playoffs. Double team him, jam him off the line, break up the whole consistency of that offense. And guess who gets the ball? TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson is the guy in that offense. Now, you're going to add Addison to that team, a rookie who shows promise. He shows promise. But is he ready to beat NFL receivers cornerbacks one-on-one? That's the question. Is he ready to beat those physical defensive corners from the NFL one-on-one? Don't know. But I will say this. Brian Flores' first year installing his defense in Minnesota, where they're going to more of a 3-4 hybrid, is not going to bode well for Minnesota. Not going to bode well for Minnesota. I'm looking for Minnesota's defense to be poor this year because they don't have all the pieces. But will that bode well for Tampa Bay? JT, take it away.
Okay. Tampa Bay is not the type of team that's a high-scoring team, especially with either Baker Mayfield or Kai Trask. Okay? And I do believe Minnesota's philosophy is we're going to outscore you. Can your offense keep up with us? They're going to struggle against teams that have a good offense and not struggle with teams like against Tampa Bay, which is not a high-scoring team in my opinion. I like the wide receivers and also like the running back for Tampa Bay because Minnesota puts 11 players out on defense and calls it a defense, but it's really not a defense. It's just 11 players. They're just a guy in there. There's really no star on that defense that you can depend on. So what Minnesota is going to try to do is outscore their opponent. That's what they're going to try to do. And I think they can do it against the Tampa Bay Bucks that won't score a lot of points, even though they do have weapons. the one who throws the passes to those weapons, is limited. Is limited. And with that limitation, they won't be able to score the amount of points that Minnesota can score.
Well, with that being said, I'm picking Tampa Bay to pull the upset. I think their defense is going to rule the day versus Minnesota's offense. And because, as you said, Minnesota just has just a bunch of guys, I don't care if it's Baker or Kyle. Nobody's stopping that running back. And if they're not stopping the running back, that means Mike Evans and Godwin are going to have hellacious games. But who are you picking this game, JT? You
I
picking
like Minnesota. Minnesota playing at home opener in the dome against Baker Mayfield and company. That's a wrap.
Well, speaking of a wrap, let's welcome in Q Dog. What's up, Q Dog? How you doing, brother?
Unbelievable.
Here, JT. Spill it, bro.
No, man. I'm wait a minute. Let me
Do it, bro.
Let me
Do
do
it.
it this way. All I got to do is shake my head when I saw.
Put it out in the record books
not
for
gonna
the
put it
public
out.
to know.
No, man. Come on.
Do it, bro.
Oh, now he's begging. He's like,
Do
no,
it.
man, come
No,
on.
no, I'm not going to do it. That I'm not that type of guy. I don't do it. I don't do it. I just I see something, don't like it, reject. So it is what it is.
Q, you're welcome to say what you want to say before we go to the next game.
I want to say, Vic, you becoming a snake, bro.
Oh God! Oh no, I'm
You-
not.
You don't make me put you on blast, bro, in front of Jerry.
Put me on blast. I don't
Wow.
care. You can put me on blast because
Jerry, I offered him Pierce for Walker straight up, and he gonna try to counter that by asking for Pierce and who else?
Pickens.
Pickens, 2 for 1. Come on now,
Come on, man.
But
Come
then,
on.
but then
that was an even offer, bro. Even offer.
But then I did 2 for 2, which was a good deal, but you turned it down. But we haven't gotten to the league stuff yet. We're gonna get to the league stuff. For sure. For sure. We sure are. All right, let's go to the next game. And you're welcome to jump in here and give a brief analysis, Q, if you want. I don't know if you're going to do Q's teasers season 2, but I know you're not ready for that. So
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I've been running around.
I know you've been working. You've been working, brother. All right. I've got the Saints. JT has the Titans. Let's get to it. So, New Orleans, Chris Olave can't guard Mike. If he stays healthy, a great addition, but we never know. Jamal Williams, Jawan Johnson. He's going to be a wild card in my opinion. But the biggest one is Derek Carr. Is Derek going to push this team offensively down the field until Alvin Kamara comes back in 3 weeks? I think they're set to, and this is before the trade, before Atlanta started stacking their defense. I had picked New Orleans to win that division hands down because of Carr and the weapons and the defense. But I saw some chinks in their armor during the preseason. They don't have backups. If something happens in New Orleans to their offensive starters or defensive starters, they're going to be hurting. So New Orleans needs to figure this out. How to keep all their 22 players, offense, defense, healthy, because special teams is going to be special teams. They traded away Lutz, their longtime kicker, to go be with, in Mile High with Peyton, not Peyton, with Sean Payton, and got a different kicker in. So I'm not really worried about that, but I'm worried about the depth of New Orleans. The Swiss Army knife isn't that valuable anymore. He's questionable what he might play, but Wildcat, he'll do a little, but they don't need to do much. I think New Orleans is going to do pretty well this year. JT.
one strong weakness in Tennessee is they're weak against the pass. Well, guess what? You got Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, and Jawan Johnson in the passing game, and Derek Carr, who can sling it down and deep. Tennessee wants to play close to the vest, run the football, and try to keep this game close. New Orleans is going to want to wind it up and throw it down the field. My opinion, Tennessee lacks weapons. No, Ryan Tannehill doesn't scare anybody. DeAndre Hopkins really doesn't scare anybody anymore. And you got the second year, third year player, whoever it is, Treylon Burks, doesn't scare anybody. Neither does Okonkwo, doesn't scare anybody. So how are they going to keep up with the New Orleans Saints and their offense playing at home, playing in New Orleans, where they are playing crazy when they play in New Orleans? May not be with Sean Payton, but they still have a lot of good weapons. Tennessee, good luck. Good luck.
Q, you got a little stake in this game because your former quarterback is now the quarterback in New Orleans, and you traded for DeAndre Hopkins. How do you see this?
I think New Orleans is going to do good in division games, but when they play out of division, out of the conference, I think they're too old. They're an old team. The only youngster they got is Olave. Other than that, everybody is old. So I think when they play like the top tier teams, that age is going to show. That's my opinion on the Saints. And then Tennessee's always plays good defense, man. Always plays good defense. And I don't know why all of a sudden everybody fell off the DeAndre Hopkins bandwagon.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Look at the quarterbacks he played with the last 2-3 years, man. Come on, and he's still bald, But in my opinion, I think he's going to have a breakout year, and I really like Tennessee's defense. So,
look like Jay wanted to say something. Look like Jerry wanted to say something.
Nope.
Look like he wanted to put a bet on there. That's what it looked like to me.
No.
Y'all already got a bet with Pittsburgh and San Francisco.
Oh, I'm feeling really good about that.
I think Tennessee's going to cover the spread. Me personally.
Oh, wow.
The spread,
Okay.
The spread is 3.
Yeah.
It is 3.
I'm picking New Orleans to win this game, and I think New Orleans covers the spread. JT?
I agree. I don't think that Tennessee is capable of keeping up with New Orleans. I'd be very surprised. I'll tell you, I'd be very surprised if Tennessee can.
I gotta go, fellas. Sorry.
All right, brother. We love you, Q. Bye. All right. Q is gone. Anyway, he didn't leave. I think his phone just died or something. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
But let's move on to the next game. With that being the case, damn, I was about to set y'all up for this Pittsburgh San Fran game, but Q had to leave.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. He just all of a sudden had to leave. Okay, no problem.
I can't control what the brother does.
No problem.
All right.
He had to leave. Okay, no problem.
So I made the observation that Pittsburgh is hitting on all cylinders, right? And what I was informed of when I made that observation is it's the preseason. I'm like, yeah. And every aspect of Pittsburgh looks really good. And it's preseason. The ones versus other ones look really good. I'm a believer in Kenny Pickett. JT is not. I understand. He has some bias against Kenny Pickett. But I love that Pittsburgh defense. I'm loving that Pittsburgh defense right now. TJ Watt ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. I strongly and firmly believe that Pickens, Johnson, and Robinson are going to be very, very, very instrumental in the development of what's my man, Kenny Pickett. And with that being the case, Najee Harris is going to have room to run. Despite the terrible offensive line play. Not terrible, but not that good. JT, you've got the 49ers.
Okay.
You froze, and then are you going to say anything about the 49ers?
Yeah. I want you to listen to this first.
I can't hear anything. And neither can the audience. I don't know what you're wanting us to hear, but no one's hearing anything but you. No one can hear. Only you can hear.
No
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for my co-host.
Johnny Kemp just got paid.
Okay.
Talking about the Bosa. He just got paid.
Friday night just got paid.
Yes, it was a question of whether Bosa was going to be on the field. There's no question now. And the best defense that's going to be on the field is San Francisco. Kenny Pickett, the best defense on the field, the number one defense was San Francisco. And if you tell me Pittsburgh got a better defense than San Francisco, you are sadly mistaken, my brother. You are sadly mistaken. And the fact is this: they had dynamite pieces, and there's nothing. George Pickens is a good wide receiver. Kenny Pickett, in my opinion, is not a good quarterback. Okay, in order for Pickens to catch the football, Kenny Pickens has to throw it to him and be able to throw it to him. I don't think that's going to happen too often. Okay, so in my opinion, the better team with the better in-game coach. I know Mike Tomlin is a very good coach, but Kyle Shanahan is the one hell of a coach with those pieces that he has. I like San Francisco. Good defense, great defense. I shouldn't say good. Great defense. Good, very good offense. And question marks on the offensive line for Pittsburgh. Looks good on paper, but they don't play the game on paper. You got Kenny Pickens, a second-year quarterback, going up against a very good defense. Okay? I'd take the very good defense over a second-year quarterback any day of the week.
Okay. Just to be clear, you spoke about coaching. San Fran has a new defensive coordinator. Just remember that.
Same
it's not
team.
It's not D'Amico making those calls. Steve Wilkes is making those calls now. That's a difference. That's a huge difference because philosophy might be similar, but decision-making is different. But with that being the case, you're picking San Francisco to win, obviously because you got to bet with Q unless you're going to.
Even if I didn't, I'd pick San Francisco. Even if I didn't have a bet, I would pick San Francisco. I'm not a big believer. I understand it's Kenny Pickett. Everybody wants to build him up. Everybody wants to build Kenny Pickett up as one of the next thing quarterbacks. I don't believe that. This is a good defense. If he can do it against a defense, I'll start believing. But otherwise than that, I can't go the route. Because there's many good quarterbacks that didn't do well against San Francisco's defense. Okay, many better quarterbacks.
That's fine. But if Kenny Pickett does really well versus them, I don't know what your excuse is going to be next week. Let's move on.
What did I just say?
Well, I know what you just said,
Okay.
but I already know how you operate when it comes to stuff like that. Well, he didn't have but so many yards. Well, he didn't do everything. Well, I already know how you are.
If he plays well and wins the game,
Identify
no
what is
I ain't
well.
got no issue with that.
What is well to you? What is well to you?
If he plays well and takes advantage, wait a minute. Let me tell you, if he takes advantage of the circumstances within the game and does what he needs to do to win the game, I'll acknowledge that. But he can play well and still lose. Okay.
But I'm asking you, what is
Let me
what is taking advantage? Quantify it.
In the game, there's always key plays, important plays. There's always key plays in the game.
If he shows up in those key plays, and those key plays help the Pittsburgh Steelers to win, okay. If he shows up in the key plays and he loses, okay, he showed up in the key plays, plain and simple. But if the defense of San Francisco holds him down, it's what I expected. Okay, it's what I expected. Okay, all right. I mean, I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be held down too bad, but now that we got some type of clarity, we'll see what your response is next week. Let's go into a game that actually is really quick, in my opinion. My Commanders versus the Cardinals. Of course, you got the Cardinals. I've got the Commanders.
I can't do this.
What?
I can't do this, man. This game is so bad. I cannot do this.
I got it. But let me just go ahead and the Commanders, let me just be clear. Chase Young isn't playing. Does that have a lot of value in this game? Yes and no, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is a game where Chase could have played and shown out. Joshua Dobbs is the quarterback. Joshua Dobbs is not, well, I'll let you talk about the Cardinals.
I can't do it.
The defense of Washington really only has to stop two players, in my opinion. Connor and Hollywood Brown. But Connor mostly because Connor is going to run the rock. Hollywood Brown is reliant on the quarterback. If Washington's defense is going to be the attacking defense, like he said, our boy Tony. He says by 17. I wasn't going to get the prediction yet, but he says by 17. If Washington can just matriculate the ball down the field and continue what they were doing in the preseason versus a lackluster and depleted Arizona defense, they got a really good shot of blowing them out. I don't know about 17 points, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Go ahead and talk about your Arizona Cardinals.
I had talked about the New England Patriots, I think, either last week or week before last, saying that they're going to be one of the lowest scoring offenses in the league. I think this is a lowest scoring offense in the league. There's no redeeming factor of me talking about the Arizona Cardinals because they had no players. Who am I going to talk about? Come on, man. This is probably a no-brainer unless Washington doesn't totally show up and decides to bench everybody and think it's a preseason game versus a real 1 week game. Come on. This is horrible. Joshua Dobbs. Come on. Really?
Well, I mean, it's obvious who we both are picking. I'm picking Washington to cover the spread, which is only 6 or 7, I believe.
7.
Okay, so I got them covering that easily. Tony says Cardinals don't have anyone that put up any points, even if Murray was the QB. Listen, if Murray was the QB, I think you got a different story on offense. The reason why is because his mobility and ability to throw the ball down the field at the flick of a wrist. Dobbs doesn't have the flick of a wrist. Dobbs doesn't have to set and throw. Now, here's who he's going to throw to. Ertz, who's questionable, but he's leaning towards playing. Marquise, he can get behind the secondary, especially when Jack Del Rio is calling very similar and same defenses. Hopefully, he's not doing that this year. But I think Kyler gives him a different look. The problem for me is Arizona's defense. It's been depleted. You only got Buda Baker over there. He can't do everything. And Buda might even get traded by the deadline. But I take it we both are picking Arizona to lose this game.
Yes. Without a doubt.
You know what? Everett. I'm call you by your government name.
You're right about that.
No, he's not.
Scoring Pee-wee
I'm
right
gonna call
now.
you by your government name, Everett.
Everett, Tony, whatever. You are so right. Kyler Murray is trash. And
Whatever.
nobody. And
Y'all
next
are hateful.
year,
going to the next game.
year when they get Caleb
We are
Williams,
going to the next game.
Murray is going to be trash.
You know what, JT? Stop talking, please.
Nobody wants him. Nobody wants with that big contract.
I guarantee you somebody will get him. But we're talking about Green Bay and Chicago. Here's the deal. Talk about your Packers. I'm going to talk about the Bears. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. A lot has been said about the Bears being the dark horse in the NFC North and winning that division. Listen. They might be right. The reason why I say that is because I think Fields to Moore is going to be a lot of things happening this year, a lot of times. It's also going to hinge on what Khalil Herbert does or Dante Foreman does. That's their smash and dash package, so to speak. Cole Kmet is going to step up and be the tight end everybody thought he was going to be last year. The question is, can Claypool be that guy? Because Darnell Mooney, like Jerry would say, is the speed guy. That offense is there. The problem I have with Chicago is their defensive line. That's the problem I have with Chicago. Can they stop the run? And Jerry's going to talk about what Green Bay has because he's in love with love. But we'll see how this plays out. Honestly, I think Chicago might be better than what I predicted them to be in the summer. JT, you got Green Bay.
You're discounting the backside of that Green Bay defense. The best part of the Green Bay defense is Alexander and company. And DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney. If they didn't know, they're going to know. Okay? They're going to know about that backside of that defense in Green Bay. I don't care if they're playing in Chicago or Green Bay. They're still playing on grass. And I'm loving Green Bay's defense to not shut down, but to slow down the offense of the Chicago Bears. Chicago's favored by 1.5. That's how much they think of Chicago's offense. 1.5.
Well, I think Chicago wins and covers.
Well, in my opinion, I like Green Bay in this. And yes, I like Jordan Love. He's going to surprise. He's going to surprise a lot of people.
So what made you change your mind? Because early on in the summer and during the preseason, actually, you had made comments about Jordan Love and how he wasn't that good. But what made you change your mind?
He's set behind a Hall of Famer. And he's a young quarterback that can move and then also can throw the football. I think he's learned quite a bit. And this is ironic because the last two quarterbacks that Green Bay had, which was Brett Favre, which was replaced by Aaron Rodgers, went to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, which was replaced by Jordan Love, another Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers, went to the Jets. Green Bay, regardless of what you may think of Green Bay, has a habit of picking good quarterbacks to replace a Hall of Famer. I got to believe Jordan Love is that. I wouldn't say he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think he's going to be a good quarterback.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk about A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, but okay. Not a problem. I think that running back combination is going to give Chicago problems, but I think they're going to cover that 1.5. The lease is up in Green Bay for Chicago. If the running game doesn't produce, Green Bay will be in trouble. That's exactly what I just said, Tony. Exactly what I was just saying. All right, let's move on to the next game.
That'd be a lot.
Tony, I sent you an invite to come on the show.
That'd be a lot of teams. A lot of teams that run the football and have trouble running the football. Their other part of the game is in trouble because of that. So,
yes, but he's saying, and this is what
I know exactly. I know exactly what he's saying.
Well, let me finish. I think we got to have Tony come on to explain that statement he made. As I was saying, Tony, I sent you an invite. He's on his way to a baseball game with his son. Okay, too easy. We still appreciate you. We still love you. But
the Chicago is going to stack the box to make Jordan Love beat him. That's probably what he wanted to say. They're going to stack the box and say, "Okay, Jordan, it's on you. If you can beat us, this is your chance."
I don't know if that's what he wanted to say, but I think the play action is what I'm thinking. He can type it in, we can post it. But I'm thinking without the effectiveness of the play action pass, Jordan Love is going to have problems. Sack box or not, the play action pass is what he needs. Right there, touchdown. And he dropped it. God dang it, he dropped it. Oh, good interpretation, JT. That's what he said. Good interpretation, JT. So let's go on to the Broncos and the Raiders. You got the Raiders. I got the Broncos.
I don't understand. What were you talking about? Drop the ball. What are you talking about?
I'm looking at Nebraska and Colorado. It's a very good game. And the running back just dropped a surefire touchdown for Colorado. But anyway.
Edwards?
Yeah. He had it.
So, I know a little bit about college football. A little bit.
Well, they got a touchdown anyway. A little bit because you following Prime. I'm following Prime.
Damn Skippy, I'm following Prime.
I'm not saying you would. You're not. I'm following Prime too. I think all of Black Twitter or Black X is following Prime.
Yes. Because he's saying what a lot of people don't get a chance to say.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying, okay, HBCU quarterback. How about that HBCU quarterback? How about that HBCU?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. He's picking. Tony's picking the Raiders by 4, but Denver keep it close. Listen, we're holding our predictions to the end, Tony. But I'll gladly post yours. But I've got Denver. Jerry has the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. I want you to listen good. Those out there listening and watching. Sean Payton says he told Russell, stop kissing babies and stop being a politician. Translation. It's time for you to be a dog and stop being so politically correct.
Hey, a nice dog. Yeah, nice guy. Stop being a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't be such a amicable.
Yep.
An amicable quarterback as a leader. I don't think Sean Payton's overrated, Tony. I don't think he's overrated. I think Sean Payton's pretty good. But he's given this team a fire that they've been lacking. Now, here's the problem, though, with Denver. Jerry Jeudy's questionable. Doesn't look like he's going to play. The other two, Tim Patrick and the other receiver, done. So they're down to their 4th and 5th receivers that are now starters. Javonte Williams coming off of ACL. But Samaje Perine isn't that bad of a back. Is he the bell cow? No. Is he the dog? No. Is he serviceable? Yes. And the problem is they need Jerry Jeudy to help Cortland Sutton and Gulsich, because that defense is going to be on the field a lot. If they can't matriculate the ball up and down the field. This is a home game. Opening up. Just imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. Denver has a 3-and-out when they get the ball first. Do you not think it's going to be boos cascading? I think it will be. I think it will be. And Denver's defense isn't going to have it. That's a good defense. But when you're out there for 50 to 60% of the time, because your offense can't sustain drives, you get a little frustrated and you get beat up. I'm going to let JT talk about the Raiders before I give you my prediction.
All right, man. What I'm going to say this. Both teams have a new coach. Not both teams. But Denver has a new coach with a suspect quarterback. And the Raiders have a new quarterback with a suspect coach. That's what I'm thinking of this. Suspect quarterback on one side, suspect coach on the other side. I expect this to be a close game, a division game. But, I mean, you got Josh Jacobs, you got Devontae Adams, who's not happy and is just putting up to see what's going to happen in this offense with his new quarterback. How long is it going to take before he becomes disgruntled with the quarterback and with the coach? We'll wait and see on that. That's an ongoing saga. There's dysfunction in both these teams, in my opinion. Dysfunction in both these teams. What dysfunction is going to are they going to overcome to win a game? It's tough. If this is a tough game, this is a extremely tough game. Denver is favored by 4. Don't see it, but they're favored by 4.
I think Denver wins the game by 3. Raiders cover. What you got, JT?
Oh, man. Since it's a division game and Denver is playing at home, I got to pick Denver, but it's going to be a close-ass game, man. I don't have too much faith in Josh McDaniels and definitely don't have too much faith in Jimmy Garoppolo. This is a game for fans. Only fans are going to want to watch this game. That's it.
I don't know.
Only fans are going to watch this game. There's not going to be any fireworks. There's not going to be spectacular plays on this. I don't see it. I can't see it because Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't push the ball down the field accurately. Let me put it that way. He may try it, but he doesn't do it accurately. And Russell Wilson can push the ball down the field, but what version of Russell are you going to get? So, and it's Josh McDaniels. I mean, like I said, there's dysfunction on both sides of these teams. And like what this dysfunction is going to be the best to win a game.
I think what Tony was saying about the running game is going to help Devontae Adams get open underneath as opposed to, the pushing the ball deep. Now, Jimmy G can throw deep. Don't get it twisted. He overthrew Emmanuel in the Super Bowl.
That's my point.
It's hard to do.
That's my point. He's not. Didn't I just say he can throw deep, but he can't throw deep accurately? That's what I said.
I got it, but you also said he can't throw deep earlier.
When I said he can't throw deep, and if he doesn't throw deep accurately, then he can't throw deep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you it is what it is, but my thought process is Jimmy G is going to be just enough. I don't think the Raiders win this game, but I think the Raiders are going to be a lot more competitive than they were last year. So let's move on to the next game. We got about 30 minutes left and about 6 games left. So let's buzz through them. I've got the Chargers. You got Miami.
Damn.
Here's the deal. This is going to be Kellen Moore's first offensive regular season game for the Chargers. Will it affect Austin Eckler's productivity? Will it affect his productivity is the question. Will he be the check down Charlie that got him so many points last year? Or is this really going to be a Mike Williams if he can stay healthy? Quentin Williams or Quentin Jefferson if he stays.
Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson.
Thank you. Quentin Johnson. Gerald Everett. Is it going to be one of those type games where the running back takes a back seat? Now, mind you, Pollard did well in this offense last year. Austin Eckler is better than Pollard, in my opinion. Pollard also caught a couple balls out the backfield, but not as many as Austin Eckler normally does. But let's flip it over. Is that defense ready? Are they ready for the speed of Waddle, freaking Hill? I know Raheem Morris is the starting running back, but ladies and gentlemen, look out for this kid that's questionable. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but it's a certain play. Hopefully Jerry talks about him. That's on Miami. But can the Chargers defense cover these guys? That's the question. My answer is no. I think this is going to be a shootout. I know you got Hicks and what's my man that was in Minnesota that went to the Chargers? Middle linebacker. Forgot his name. Not Hicks. It's McKinney. I know he and his brother played linebacker. Anyway, I don't think they're ready for that. I really don't. And I'm scared for any team that the Chargers have to face with speed. The Chargers just don't have it to cover, my opinion. Go ahead, JT. Talk about Miami.
Well, it's let me just say this first. Not Raheem Morris, it's Raheem Mostert. Okay?
Mostert, my bad.
Okay. And you got Mostert, a chain, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle.
Yes.
I do agree. This is.
I love that a chain guy, bro.
Yeah, I know you do, but he's a let me put it this way, an accident waiting to happen. But that's okay. You can like the small running backs if you like. That's okay.
But that speed kills, baby.
Okay. Yeah, if you hurt, you can't display that speed, but that's okay.
True.
No problem.
True indeed.
LA is favored by 3 points. I think they cover the spread here. Playing at home. I think they cover the spread here. I'm looking for big games from Eckler, Allen, and Mike Williams. I'm looking big games for these guys. I think they can exploit the defense on Miami, especially at home. And I have faith in Kellen Moore to get these guys opportunities to be able to play, be all they can be, the Army way. And
that's our new slogan again. By the way, if you didn't know, we went back to that. Be all you can be.
Okay, no problem. All right. Then I expect these three guys that I talked about to be all they can be. I like the Chargers in this game.
Okay. Even though you weren't supposed to do that, but okay. I like Miami to cover this because Miami's going to put it on them, dude. The Chargers have not played well at home since they moved to this new stadium. It's always been an away game for them. I don't understand that. Their owner isn't a dirtbag like Washington's was. They have a good team.
They're cheap.
I understand they're cheap, but the fan base should show up, though, because they have a good team.
Too many distractions in LA. That's the problem. Too many distractions in LA. If it's not basketball or maybe college football, that's a different story.
I can see college football right now because UCLA and USC, but bro, if the freaking Rams can get a home game and it's mostly Rams fans, I don't see why the Chargers can't get the same love.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got Miami all day.
Okay.
All day.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next game. We got to speed this up a little bit. No brainer to me, but we still got to go over it. Patriots and Eagles. You've got the Eagles. I've got the Patriots. With Stevenson questionable. Ramondre Stevenson is questionable. That's crazy. They might just be holding him out of the game or out of practice for precautionary reasons. But wow. Can Zeke step up and take the range and run the rock against a team that he's done fairly well against his career in Philadelphia? Philadelphia's defensive line is young. I'm going to let you talk about Philly. Other than Fletcher Cox, they're young, but it's Georgia of the North. We got to see. But with that being the case, I don't have much for the Patriots, bro. They have a very good defense, but I don't know. Juju Smith-Schuster ain't gonna do jack.
Like I said,
I just don't know. Go ahead.
In my opinion, the New England Patriots are going to probably be one of the lowest scoring teams in the NFL.
I agree.
And compared to one of the highest scoring teams in the NFL, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, this is no contest. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I'm not even going to mention DeAndre Swift because I don't think too much of him. Just like I didn't think too much of Miles Sanders. They use multiple backs. Kenneth Gainwell.
Small, powerful.
May have a better game than DeAndre Swift. Okay? That's how
I can agree with that.
That's how good they are. He may have a better game than DeAndre Swift. I'm not a big DeAndre Swift fan. I'm surprised he's healthy to flow into this game. Yes, because he stays hurt. So it is what it is.
Okay. Well, with that, I think we both are taking Philly. No need to go any further with that.
Nope.
All right. I think Philly covers the point spread as well.
Yep.
The Rams travel to travel to Seattle. They'll be up here. Listen, Njigba's healthy. The person who's going to suffer the most, in my opinion, is Lockett. I think Lockett's going to suffer because Njigba is that dude. However, the biggest gainer will be Walker if he can, get this growing thing taken care of. Because Charbonnet is still dealing with some issues himself, but both of them are questionable. Interesting. But they'll both play. Tyler Lockett is either going to play the slot guy. I think he's going to play the slot. But Njigba and DK, in my opinion, are going to be the benefits of a lot of Geno. I'm on the Geno back. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. And I'm going to tell Jerry this secret too. Because Jerry don't like to share information. That tells you the difference between he and I. Jerry sold me on Njigba. On Geno. So he sold me on Geno as my backup.
Yep.
But
just like Kurt's my backup. Remember that.
I know. But I like Geno's situation better than Kirk's situation right now. I really do. But the key to this game is going to be the defense. Cooper Kupp has just been placed on IR. He's gone for at least 4 games. That means Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, and Higbee, the tight end, are your guys. Cam Akers, he's going to see a lot of stacked boxes. Matthew Stafford's going to revert back to the old Matthew Stafford when he was like in Detroit. I'm just going to put it out there. It's going to be a train wreck, in my opinion. But Seattle's defense is they're probably going to score a touchdown. in this game. I surely see a few sacks. Go ahead and talk about the Rams, please.
Do I have to? Do I really have to?
Yes.
You know, as we go down the list here, I don't know how many bad teams I've gotten to even try to talk about and talk up. I mean, too many to count, and the Rams are one of them. Cam Akers, not a fan. Absolutely not a fan.
Agreed.
This is probably one of the worst rosters Matthew Stafford has had. One of the worst rosters he's had. What do you think they're going to call? I don't even think they get the 20 points in this. I don't think they get the 20 points. I mean, it's going to be a struggle playing in Seattle, where they had fits with Seattle when they had a strong team, and now they have one of the weaker teams. Good luck with that.
True indeed. Especially division games are supposed to be close. I don't think this is going to be close. Historically, they're close, but I don't think the talent's there in LA to keep this game close. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next game, which happens to be Sunday night, Cowboys and the Giants. Now, here's the thing, because I really want to jump in Jerry's bread basket real quick and just Mr. I knew, but it's okay. It's my fault for not doing my research. Mr. Jones might be without his security blanket, and he might have to rely heavily on Saquon again. I like Jalen Hyatt. Darius Slayton is the number one guy. I'm not a big Darius Slayton fan, but he ain't really got a choice, right? With Walker possibly being out, Waller, particularly being out, that puts you fantasy owners in a very bad predicament. Because if he's in, you know he's getting targets, and you know he's going to be an impact. But if he's out, you got to find your replacement before the Sunday night game, because he doesn't have to be ruled out until an hour before the game. By that time, all games have played except for the Monday night game.
Yep.
So it's a bad situation if you didn't draft properly. Fortunately enough for me, I did, even though I traded for him from that guy. But it's okay. It was a fair trade at the time.
Okay.
But with that being said, this is going to be a good defensive struggle, in my opinion. Because the Giants' defense isn't a slouch. It's what's going to happen on the offensive side of the ball for the Giants that worries me. Really does. You got the Cowboys, take the Cowboys.
Okay. First of all, that's one of the reasons why I traded Darren Waller, because of his injury history, and the fact is tight ends, the Giants' tight end, it got the worst schedule in fantasy. So I think it was a no-brainer. I'll take any tight end after that. So not a problem. I'll take a tight end that I think is worth it, and I did, which is fine. I may take some hits. in the tight end position, but at least I know he's healthy, and then he's going to have some good weeks.
Frymouth gets targets. He gets targets.
The Cowboys got a lot of weapons. And if the Giants are missing one of their supposedly main weapons in Giant land, problem. You got Saquon Barkley. You got who else? Who the else? Really?
Yeah, really? Yeah, really?
Really? You got Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, and company that in Dak Prescott that can push the ball down the field, okay, and score some points. I think they were one of the top 5 scoring offenses in the league last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You think that's not going to continue? with the offensive coordinator that they have now, and the weapons that they haven't lost really anybody except for Zeke, and they consider him. A lot of people consider him over the hill. Okay, Dallas Cowboys got a lot of weapons, and even though they're coming to New York, and even though it's a division game, I like their chances.
All right. Well, on the strength of the defense and that Waller looks like he's not going to play, I got to pick the Cowboys.
Dallas by 3.
Well, that means they don't cover the spread because the spread's 3.5.
Okay.
So, all right. Last game, of course, it would be. I did call it audible, so now you can talk about your team. Buffalo Bills go to the New York Jets / New York Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a good game and a good test for the Buffalo Bills because I honestly don't know what's going to happen with the Jets. They had a great preseason to see where everybody was, right? To see where their strengths were, where their weaknesses were. Defense is popping. I don't think Sauce is going to go all season without giving up a touchdown like he did last year. Excuse me. Aaron Rodgers to Wilson, get used to hearing that. Get used to hearing that. Here's the question. Is Breece Hall or Cook going to be the back? Both of them are questionable. But Breece Hall, he's the future. Let me put it that way. He is the future. And like Jerry likes to say, never trust a running back coming off of an ACL the first year.
That's right.
So I'm expecting to see a lot more of Dalvin Cook, especially with his experience, than Breece. So with that being said, the only concern I have for the Jets, and it's not even a concern because Greg Zuerlein is a boomer. His thing is just, does he freaking make the field goal consistently? So special teams would be my only concern with the Jets in this game. Go ahead, JT. You got Buffalo.
Wow. What can I say, man? This is going to be one hell of a – this is one of the most perfect games for the first game on Monday night. I mean, you got a division rival, same state rival, and supposedly two Super Bowl contenders with a new quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback with a young, hungry offense and a young and very, very good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against the Buffalo Bills, who are another one of those high-scoring offenses with a decent defense. These two teams are almost mirrors of each other. Mm-hmm. The fact is, the Jets are home, Buffalo's on the road, and even without Aaron Rodgers, the Jets gave Buffalo fits. Okay, the Jets are Buffalo favored by 2.5. Okay, when we get to who we pick,
we're there once you finish.
Okay, I'm finished.
Well, listen, I already predicted that the Jets were going to win this game during our breakdown. So I'm going to stick with that. And I think Buffalo doesn't get it. Well, obviously, if I'm picking the Jets to win, Buffalo doesn't cover. But I think it's going to be some lean times for Buffalo. My boy Josh is going to be running a lot and throwing a lot because I don't think that defense is ready. So I definitely got to go with the Jets in this game. Go ahead, JT.
You know what? Aaron makes a big debut, throws for a couple of touchdowns. I like the Jets in this game. It's going to be close. It's going to be real close, but because it's a division game and these two are a mirror of each other, and the Jets gave the Bills fits even without Aaron Rodgers.
True. Wilson beat him. Wilson actually beat him.
That point is they have an advantage now because they have a better quarterback who can control the defense with his mind and can control the offense with his ability. I like the Jets in this game.
All right, so Jerry's going to be a Jet fan once again. He's coming back home. Yes, no, maybe so.
No, I'm just going to be a
Deshaun Watson fan.
Deshaun Watson and a fantasy fan. And if one of these two teams have fantasy favorites for me, that's what I'll be rooting for.
All right, with that being said, that covers our entire week 1 slate. It took a little longer than I wanted to, but it's okay. Not a problem. I don't want to jump into our fantasy league stuff because that's going to be another hour as far as, the moves that Jerry's made. Apparently, Jerry was not happy with his draft, and he picked in the 3rd spot. You care to say why you weren't happy with your draft?
I made a crucial mistake, and I made up for it. Let me put it that way.
So what was the crucial mistake?
I picked Jamar Chase. I don't know how I did that, but it happened. I didn't want Jamar Chase.
How is that a crucial mistake?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It was for me. I think outside of the box, man. You know that. I don't think what everybody else is supposed to think. I think outside of the box, and I thought outside of the box, and I didn't grab the person I wanted to grab. But it is what it is. I just deal with it. I got a good. I got a good return for my mistake. So I'm happy.
Okay. All right. With that being said, JT, what do you got happening tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow.
Are you doing a show, first of all?
Yes, I'm doing a show tomorrow, and we're going to talk about fantasy, starts and sits of fantasy, and maybe some sleepers in fantasy. Okay. And there's at least one player that people should pick up off the waiver wire that's sitting on the waiver wire. I'm going to talk about that person and possibly a few more. Okay.
Okay. With that being
10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The you see it behind me, For No Reason Fantasy Football by Jerry Taylor. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Catch me on all 3 of those platforms.
Okay. Again, tomorrow is week 1 slate of games in the NFL. It's back. When the football season's here, the year just goes by like that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, hopefully things get better for everybody during the year. Now the football's back. We look forward to providing you the best information we have and we know how. We've been doing this 14, 15 years, ladies and gentlemen. 14, 15 years. And it's been a good thing. We'll see you when we see you because we wouldn't want to be you. We out.
Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Get ready to rumble!
You want to talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's going to get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef.